this is how roofing sales goes. This is what you do when you're in someone's kitchen. This is what you talk about. This is what you don't talk about.
Brian, do you think they're going to ban TikTok?
Help more young sales reps not screw up like I did in my early stages of the career.
So do you think, we were talking beforehand, do you think they're going to ban TikTok?
I don't hope. I mean, honestly, I don't care. I'm not even on TikTok. If they ban it, I won't even know.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know. So then you're in the know because I want you to be in the know because I like you, Chuck.
I like being in the know for sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, a guy like me on a day like today, why not? So let me ask you a question. You know what? We're going to do this a little bit differently. You ask me a question.
All right. Man, I wasn't prepared for that. Normally when I do my podcast, I don't prepare. So
fine. Okay, fine. You know what?
I got a question.
Bring it.
What's the weather like in Buffalo today?
Dude, it is amazing. I think it's about 44 degrees. There's no snow, and it hasn't rained in a week. So I live in an area where my yard is a perpetual swamp. I've got 3 dogs, and they all like to do laps around the pool, and it's great. And especially when they're covered head to toe in mud.
Got white carpets all over the house, I'm assuming.
White shag rugs throughout, obviously, right? Weather's good. How's the weather out your way?
It's hot, actually. San Antonio. It's I think it was about 90 yesterday, so that's good April weather. I'll take it. I think I'd rather have 44 though. This is the time of year where I start missing living in Ohio a little bit. Just a little bit though. Well, I get over it quick.
I was gonna say you take a flight back. I'm sure you'd circle back real quick.
Before I even get back, before I even land, I'm ready to come home again.
Yeah, you feel like. What did the horse say when it tripped?
What did the horse say when it tripped? Oh man, what do horses say? I'm guessing he probably just said "ouch."
Yeah.
Is that what he said? Did I get that right?
Help! I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
Damn, that is money right there. I'm going to use that some point today. This isn't coming out. Is this live right now? Are people seeing this?
No.
Okay, cool. So it'll be an original piece of content for me here later on this afternoon. I got it. I'll make someone laugh with that joke. And I'll give all the credit. I give, hey, here we go. Shout out.
Yeah. That's why you're my guy. All right.
Right?
So
I love it.
Since we last spoke, I mean, I didn't know about this up until 4 minutes before the show. Business 411. How did this come about? What happened? Tell me.
Dude, okay, so this is probably the coolest thing that's ever happened, right? Maybe 2 months ago. No, let's see. What is today? Today's April 12th. The last day of February, I made a decision that I was going to go in a different direction with my life. The roofing company just wasn't my thing anymore. I kind of had outgrown that, I think. And I did a podcast with Elizabeth from Business 411 a few weeks prior to that. And we had a very good conversation, and I've known her for a long time. She's awesome. I got even more respect after hearing her life story and how she got to where she is and all the stuff that she'd done to develop the company. And when I made the decision to go in a different direction, I wasn't thinking of anything. I didn't have any plans. I just knew that I just wanted to do something different. I was going to kind of test the waters. And she called me up that morning, and it was fate. It was a foregone conclusion that it was supposed to happen that way. And I've been with Business 411. I guess this is now technically my 3rd full week. And I've been going through the trainings and trying to, learn as much as I can about the company, getting ready to unleash to the world here and show everybody what we have to offer. But it was a cool thing. And when she called, it was like, you know what? I would have never processed that in my mind. But it just felt like the right thing. And the last couple of weeks, I've been reaching out to my friends and getting a lot of great feedback on the company. So I'm super pumped about it. And we're going to do something really amazing. I came in with a specific purpose for the company with Elizabeth. We spoke specific goals for me and what we're going to do. And I am looking forward to it.
Well, let's not be all cloak and dagger and shit. What are you going to do?
I'm a sales guy. I mean, I'm a roofing sales specialist. I've been a sales specialist for my whole career. And roofing sales is something that I love. I've been doing consulting and working with other roofing companies for a couple years, and it's just a natural progression. So my strength is roofing sales. It wasn't roofing company ownership or general managership or any of that stuff. So I'm just going to go back to my strength and what I really love doing. And the last 4 years of my life, I've gotten to do those consulting gigs, and it's been a lot of fun. So I think it's just a natural fit. And there's a lot of stuff that this company has that they do that I was completely unaware of. So to me, it's going to be fun, kind of spreading the word. And I told Elizabeth I'm going to be kind of like Business 411's version of TJ McCormick over at Roofer.
Mm.
You know what TJ McCormick is doing. You know what he's representing at all times. I think
Right.
he's probably the best spokesman that I've ever seen. And my goal is to attain that level of status as well. So we'll see what happens, but so far, so good.
I like it. Well, you got to get on
Hell yeah.
TikTok if you want to make that happen.
I'll get on TikTok.
I'll get on TikTok.
My podcast has a TikTok page, but I don't know, man. I figure if I go look at it, I probably got 75 million views that I'm unaware of. I'm probably famous in like Bangladesh or something right now. Until they start, hoarding me out here asking for autographs, I'm just going to assume that there's still the same 15 to 17 views on my TikTok videos.
Okay. And
I should probably promote that better. Maybe that'll be my new thing.
I mean,
TikTok.
look.
I'll get into it right before they ban it, and that's
Right,
how I can
exactly,
guarantee it'll
yeah.
get banned. I'll
Spend-
sign up today.
spend
banishment
hundreds of
tomorrow.
hours over the next few weeks getting acclimated, understanding the platform, and then bam, it's gone.
Pull the old rug out from under your feet, and TikTok was a wonderful thing for that hour and a half.
It's fun while it lasted. An open invitation to Liz whenever she wants to come on the show. We've, I think, spoken like 17 syllables to one another, but would love to chop
She's
it up.
awesome. Yeah, she's awesome. You guys would get along really well because she's got a great personality, a good sense of humor, and she is like laser focused, dude. I'm super impressed. I'm 20 years older than she is, believe it or not. I look no more than 17 to 18 years older than her, but I'm actually a little bit over 20 years older, and I got nothing but respect. I look up to her very much because she's built something amazing. And her life story was on my podcast, Keeping It Rio, as you're aware. If anybody wants to go watch that episode, it was definitely a badass episode. And she's a winner. I'm super excited about this.
Nice. Well, congratulations. I'm glad that that came together.
Heck
What
yeah.
exactly-
And dude, did I tell you about my shirt, my story about the shirt? This
Tell
is
the-
the first time I've worn this shirt in like 6 months.
Dude, I'm sorry to hear that.
Dude, you don't even know. I did not want to reach out to you and be like, hey, my shirt got lost or something. I was going to claim someone like beat me up and took it, like outside someone just
Listen, the
jumped me
merchandise
and-
was so hot, I got mugged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All they wanted was the shirt. They didn't
Yeah.
take my money or my wallet or my car. Nothing. They just wanted the shirt. But dumbass me did my laundry, and I'm a guy. I throw everything in, and this was actually balled up in a sleeve of one of my hoodies. And I have legit been distraught because I haven't been able to find this shirt for months. I've gone through everything except for that one hoodie, and thankfully it's about 45 degrees here this morning, and I was able to wear it to the gym. As soon as I put that sleeve on, this bad boy popped out. So
Oh, man.
I don't play the lottery because I don't feel like it would be anywhere close to the feeling I just got this morning when I got the shirt.
I'm glad that I could be a part of that in some way indirectly. That's
Absolutely, this is my favorite gym shirt, and I'll give you tons of credit for these shirts. You know why I like it?
Why's that?
Because I'm super freaking fake and vain and whatnot, and I like to wear it to the gym because it makes my damn arms look kind of big. It's kind of
that's a little
tight around my
snug
arms,
fit.
and
Yeah.
that's really all I'm looking for in a shirt nowadays.
Yeah,
Just make my arms look bigger than they are.
Well, interesting. So I dislocated a finger about a month and a half ago. So typically when I'm training, I do like boxing and I do basketball. I play a lot of basketball and I hit the heavy bag a lot. And because I have a dislocated finger, I can't do that. So the last like 5-6 weeks, I've been doing one-handed boxing, right? So I'm on the heavy bag and I kind of glue the right hand to guard position and I'm working, the left hand. So I'm like, God, I almost have like atrophy. I feel like in my right arm. So I measured my arms yesterday. I told my wife, I'm like, grab that. I have one of those little, and I put it around, I flexed, and yeah, it's 1 inch, a little bit over an inch smaller on my right side bicep than on my left side now.
So you're like a 34-inch on the left and a 33 on
yeah,
the right. Now,
yeah,
is
we'll
what
go
we're
with that.
saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love it. Hey,
it was
Still swole. That's all that matters, right? Still swole.
So now I'm gonna have to customize my t-shirts to have like a cinch on the right arm, like an inch smaller, so it hugs appropriately.
There you go. Got to
yeah.
have the appropriate hug.
Yeah, of course.
That's what a shirt's all about.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
So let me ask this, okay? Boxing. What got you into doing boxing? Like that's kind of a unique thing. Is there a boxing specific gym that you go to? Or?
Yeah, I used to. When I was young, I wanted to box. Just never really wasn't in the cards, I guess. When I was like,
I wasn't tough enough. I did box a lot as a kid, but I got my ass whooped several times.
Yeah, so like in high school,
my boxing career.
So in high school, we would box. Like a couple friends of mine, we had gloves, 14-ounce gloves, and we'd box and like just beat each other up, and it was fun. But never really got into it like at a gym until I was 26-ish. And I went to this gym. It's called WNY MMA. Shout out to WNY MMA. And I started doing the classes, like boxing classes. There's 20 people, 30 people. There's a coach, and you're just learning fundamentals, right? And it's humbling because you think that you know how to throw a punch, and then you realize you have no fucking idea.
Yeah, actually, I'm slapping.
So
I get the same thing. I took up golf like a little bit over a year ago. So I go to this driving range by my house, and there's these old guys, and I go middle of the day when everybody is at work, except for these old dudes that have been golfing for like 70 years. And I got a friend over here named Buck, and he's been teaching me how to swing the golf club. And if it doesn't work out with me here in roofing, I feel pretty confident I can maybe go play for the PGA, maybe 3-4 months from now. If I continue with this amazing progress.
Buck's got it figured out. Yeah.
Buck's the man for sure.
It's all about the coaching.
Straight.
Yeah.
It is. And listening, that's my thing. I don't listen very often, but I watched this old man just crushing, and I said, you know what? This guy knows what's up, and he's trying to help me. So there's no pride when it comes to golf.
There's actually some parallels between golf and boxing, because in golf, like, you think about when you're turning to position the club to come through, right? There's going to be a weight transfer, and that's the biggest. Like, I feel like that's the hardest thing when you're learning like how to box. When you're throwing combinations, you're pivoting your weight from front foot to back foot, right? And your power is going to be a byproduct of that weight transfer. It's not going to be how big your arms are. In fact, I think it's much more challenging the bigger that you are, like as far as like bulk. To box.
Oh, you start gassing out in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, you get gassed out. If you're going to block shots, it's harder to get down. So it kind of works again, and you're not as quick. But yeah, it was humbling. Fun fact as well. Corey Combs, South Shore Roofing and Exteriors. I met Corey at that gym. He was a coach. He taught Muay Thai there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's where I met Corey almost 10 years ago. Look at us now. Look at us now.
I do have a boxing story, if I could, real quick. I've never told this before. The other day I was on a podcast. I told a story I'd never told in public before. I'm going to do it again today.
Let's fucking go.
This is my boxing career in a nutshell. Okay. When I was a kid, I had some buddies, and we had a similar setup. We had like one set of boxing gloves, and one person would get the left, one person would get the right. I'm left-handed, so it kind of worked out for me. I'd always get the left, but you only have one glove, right? And I feel like I was kind of set in there as like kind of a trap, because I would always draw, I'm like 13, 14 years old, and I'm drawing the older brothers who are all like 18, 19, 20. And I mean, I come to find out I'm not very good at boxing. So I got my ass kicked a few times. I think I might have had a little bit of brain trauma, which led into my career here in roofing. But I had to retire after taking too many beatings. And then I moved on to wrestling, which I did tell that story a while ago as well. I got hurt. I was trampoline wrestling champion for like 3 years consecutively. And I did a crazy jump off the roof. I hit the trampoline kind of funny, and I went face first into the fence. That's
Damn.
My professional fighting career was completely jinxed from the get-go, but I was always fighting top contenders. I was always fighting dudes that were way out of my ability level. I want that to be known to the world. I did lose a lot, but I landed some good punches. My buddy's brother, I hit him one time real good when I was about 12, and I think that's what led to me getting my ass kicked for the next 2 or 3 years, but
yeah,
I got that one in, man.
Yeah, listen,
I still
man,
remember it 30 years later.
And I'm sure he does too.
I hope he doesn't, man. I hope it was so jarring that it just, scrambled them brains.
That's funny. So what exactly does Business 411 do?
Business 401 does everything, man. I was shocked to find this out because I've known Elizabeth for a long time, and she's been in the industry for I think 8 years now. I think I've known her for 8 years, and I was following and have always been respectful, and I've always liked her, but I didn't really pay close attention to what was going on. So I thought it was just a training company that does training manuals and stuff like that and gets them out to the roofing companies, which definitely is a huge part of the company. But I don't know if you want me to mention this or not. We do marketing, branding, and sales training, SEO stuff, Google My Business, all that, website, social media, similar stuff to what you do. I'm just throwing that out there on the beginning. But we also do sales training, very extensive. Like I said, that's going to be my thing. Roofing sales is going to be a division that we're going to build and, make it very specific. This is how roofing sales goes. This is what you do when you're in someone's kitchen. This is what you talk about. This is what you don't talk about. And I'm pumped about that. But dude, we do truck wraps. We do event, the giant canopies, trade show booths, you name it. Like, I was shocked. Business cards, yard signs, pretty much everything. It's an amazing company.
How many employees do you guys have?
I think there's about 30 right now. And this is, I think the company is 2019. So pretty new still. She's working with, I think, over 800 roofing companies in the country right now. And my main objective is to try and get as many of my friends on board as I possibly can so I can make a living and help this amazing company grow and develop, because I think we're going to change the industry for the better. And quite frankly, I believe she's already done that. Mm-hmm. I just want to be like a contributor to that. So we do just about everything. It's insane. I had a buddy the other day that his company got locked out of Google, and she figured out how to get him right back on Google. And maybe that's something that's not super hard, but for a guy like me, it's unfathomable. So super impressed by everything. The team is filled with experts. The design team is amazing. I've been just looking at the stuff that we've put out, and I think I'm in love.
Was there any apprehension or trepidation? I feel like it's a big career move to say, okay, I'm done. I'm going to move on from roofing, in regardless of where you're transitioning to, right? Take Business 401 out of the equation. That's a pretty significant life move. What did that feel like?
Huge. To be honest, it didn't. I had no hesitation, no trepidation, no fear whatsoever.
Look at you, huh?
I've done this before in my life. I lived in Ohio for 32 years. I worked at a roofing supply company, and back in 2010, they gave me a chance to move to North Carolina, open a branch from scratch with a complete stranger that I met at the front door. So I've always kind of been one of those dudes that's not afraid to just take that risk. Moved to Texas the same way. I just kind of showed up here one day, and I met a guy that had a roofing company and agreed to come work with him. And then I went and got all my stuff from North Carolina, and I moved to Texas. So it's one of those things. When I moved to San Antonio, same deal. We bought a dead company. We resurrected it. We had it around for 4 good years. It has a 5-star rating with over 300 reviews. None of my customers have ever had a complaint ever. And I helped 2 of my guys start their own roofing businesses. So to me, it was a huge success. I just feel like I outgrew it, and I want to have more reach to the industry as a whole so I can help more people, help more young sales reps not screw up like I did in my early stages of the career. So I don't think it was scary at all. And it's really kind of weird because I don't feel that. I have confidence in myself. I know what I can do and what I bring to the table. And I feel like if I just do me and I'm who I am, it's going to work no matter what. So
I like that.
No hesitation, no fear, bro. I ain't scared of shit.
My man. What happened to the company?
Nothing. It's still, the company's still active. I had a parent company, so that was very helpful. And I had multiple partners, and they were able to absorb some of the stuff into that. The one here in San Antonio, it's just kind of, we're just going to shut that one down. But the other ones were absorbed into the ASAP organization in Tyler and College Station.
Gotcha.
Thriving, doing well. Everything worked out really well. My partners and I are still great friends. They were life-changing people for me. And my partners at that deal are also all kind of doing other things. So everybody understood what was up, and we all kind of agreed, hey, we can do this. We can be best friends for the rest of our lives, and we can all still be happy and successful, and just go do something else. And one of my partners, Leanne Koppel, she was just announced last week as co-host for the American Contractor Show. So we're all doing some pretty big things. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool. And I think the best compliment you can give is my time with them, the 4 years that I've gotten to be around these people. I grew into a totally different person. I'm not Chuck the roofer anymore. Chuck the roofer 4 years ago, all he cared about was putting shingles on houses, and that was it. And in this 4 years, I've developed a huge love for doing consulting, for doing stuff like we're doing with the podcasting and all that.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to do something a little bit different. So everything was cool. Everybody worked out well. Our office was, remodeled by the new tenant like 3 days after we were moved out, and everybody's good. Just one of those deals where sometimes in life you can all shake hands and hug and love each other to death and just say, hey, let's just call this one a day and move on and see what we got going on elsewhere in the world.
I like that.
It's an interesting perspective. It's kind of weird when I talk about it, because I'm like, God damn, dude, what's wrong with you? But here I am.
It's always interesting because, we evolve as humans. Most people are going to evolve and they're going to change. And it's like, I don't know, if you see a person every day, right, they could lose or gain 20 pounds over the course of a year and you don't really realize it. But for the people that haven't seen them, it's like, holy fuck, you look way different than you did a year ago. So I feel like even with like evolution internally of who we are and our identity and the things that we pursue, like we're constantly changing, and we ourselves don't. I feel like it's much more challenging to notice it incrementally as it's happening, right? But then you look back 4 years and you could say, okay, Chuck the roofer, all he cared about is this, this, and this. Now I realize that, like, when did that epiphany, or when did that light bulb go off that, like, it's time for something different? Was there a specific moment?
There's been all kinds of things, like life will change you and humble you as you go through. Things happen in life, they're inevitable. And I think that, just over the course of the time, I grew out of love, or I fell out of love with it, really, and I've always been one of those people that's like, if you're not 100% committed, don't do it, because someone else will be 100% committed. They'll give it the best opportunity, and they'll make the most of it. And, I got to that point where it's probably been, maybe a year. It was in my mind, like, okay, the shift in the industry, the way things are starting to evolve or devolve, I guess. One of the last jobs I did, I had to wait like 9 weeks to get my final check from the insurance company. And I just thought, you know what? Screw this,
enough
man.
Is enough.
I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm sick of fighting with these guys. I'm sick of having to argue. And, I have homeowners that are pissed off over stupid little things that we have nothing to do with. And I love all my customers to death, but, I haven't gotten anybody calling me saying, I've stepped on a nail, one singular nail in your yard, even though you gave me a waiver and I signed it stating that I'd find nails. I'm pissed off because I stepped on a nail, and, I don't have that anymore. I'm doing something that I love, which is going to be helping people, helping companies, and, helping sales teams learn how to do this, because that's my passion. I love the sales aspect of it. I love helping homeowners, and, I think I took on a bigger role than I probably should have, because I'm not a good manager. I'm a scatterbrained dude. I have ADHD like nobody's business. And, I'm very creative and I love doing stuff and I have a good time. But if you want someone that's going to sit at a desk and do specific tasks, I'm not the guy, man. That's what I was trying to be. So I just decided that, let me go do something fun. You only get a little bit of time on this planet. Go build something cool with some awesome people. And the team I've got over at Business 411 are absolutely amazing. They've invited me in and treated me like family, and pretty cool.
That's dope, dude. Yeah, I was in I was in Texas a few weeks back for the Wealth Builder, GF Wealth Builder.
That was
And,
in Austin, right?
Yeah. And man, it was
Wish I'd have
so
known. I'd have gone up there. I'm in San Antonio, only about a half hour away.
this guy.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I was trying to save the world last week.
Well, listen, dude. I mean, I've taken on the stance as of this morning where like I'll blame everyone else instead of blaming myself. So I could have let you know, but I'd rather blame you because that feels better to me. It feels like a more effective way to cope.
I'm all about it for sure.
Yeah. All right, good.
Coping is good. If I have to be the scapegoat to make you feel good, by all means.
Well,
there
I
are
mean-
many people in this world that have used me for that purpose.
I mean, in my family, I've
I'm
been the
good with it.
scapegoat my entire life, right? So it's like now it's my turn to start scapegoating other people. It's only fair.
Exact.
So yeah, Texas was beautiful. Austin was downtown Austin was interesting.
It's an experience, right?
Yeah, it was an experience. We stayed at the Fairmont, I believe, and the pool there was the weather of the pool was amazing. Coming from
It's Texas, man. Every day the weather is pretty amazing here, unless we're getting a massive hailstorm or a massive tornado or something. Most of the time here in San Antonio, it's warm and dry. I'm happy. It was between this and nowhere else, you know. Like I love Texas.
yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. Let me bring something else up that we do have in Texas, because this is going to be a personal thing for you. We have the Anchor Bar here in San Antonio, right?
Yeah.
And I tell people, I went to the original Anchor Bar in Buffalo when I was a kid. We went to Niagara Falls, and I was there at the Anchor Bar, and it was the original place where buffalo wings were innovated, and I ate the ones, which you can't even use this term anymore, but I was probably 7, 8 years old, and to get a t-shirt, you had to eat 10 of the suicide wings. And I did it when I was a little boy.
Hey.
And that's my Anchor Bar story. You can't do that anymore. They told me you're not allowed to say suicide wings anymore, and they no longer have that because I guess someone messed up, man. Like, I don't know. My parents signed a waiver for me when I was a kid. They really loved me. They let me eat those suicidal wings without any hesitation.
And that's when you knew you were destined to do great things in life. When you finished that 10th wing.
Standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finished the 10th wing. I was the most accomplished 8-year-old in that bar, I promise.
Oh.
That's Buffalo, man. The home of the wings. Thank you,
How
Buffalo, for that.
Well, we do what we can. All right. So, how is the Anchor Bar establishment
Here?
down in Texas? Subpar?
Look, there's a bunch of them. There's maybe like 2 or 3 here in the San Antonio metropolitan
I can't
area,
imagine
which
they're
is
great,
kinda
though.
odd. Huh?
I can't imagine they're great.
They're good. They're good. They're not great because I've been to the other one, which was an actual bar.
Mhm.
And it was kind of, it's cool. They had all those license plates all over I remember it vividly.
Yeah.
All over the place, and there was an Ohio one over there from Franklin County. I remember that. I have a weird memory. I couldn't tell you what I ate for breakfast this morning, but 30
Same.
years ago, man, I
Yeah,
know exactly what I had at the
exactly. Yeah.
Anchor Bar. And I remember the Franklin County license plate, green and white.
That's funny.
It's not the same here. There are some pictures of things from Buffalo and this and that, but it's like, yeah.
I mean,
I'm in San Antonio, dude. It's just not the same. You don't have people riding horses down the street in Buffalo, do you?
no, and my studio and office is less than 3 minutes from the Anchor Bar.
There you go. See, it's almost like I knew. It's a
You know,
hometown.
But I'll say we have several like franchises around here, and I went to one, and it was do better Anchor Bar. If you're gonna franchise your product,
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a nationwide issue, I suppose, now, because if they have that problem in Buffalo, I'm sure they're not trying to fix it over here.
Yeah, there was one like 20 minutes out in the suburbs, like 20 minutes from the original, and I went there years back, and I'm like, this is shit.
There's only one original, and if you got to accept it for what it is. I told my buddies, I was like, this isn't really the Anchor Bar, but I guess technically it is, and it's all that matters.
It's better
maybe
than nothing.
maybe they changed the whole thing over there, and it looks like this now. I don't know. It's been 30 years.
Maybe I'll go do a live at Anchor Bar today or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do one from Anchor Bar in San Antonio.
Look at that, dude.
Compare notes.
Yeah, exactly. What else is new?
Man, all kinds of stuff. Life's good. Life is good. I got out of College Station. I had multiple residences there for about the last 3 years. So I moved out of College Station, Texas. I'm full-time here in San Antonio now. That's awesome. just taking care of business. I'm doing consulting for a few roofing companies here locally, helping some smaller guys get started, and just doing this deal with Business 411, trying to get off the ground with that. And
When you're doing
having a
consulting
blast.
for the roofing companies, are you doing on site? Are you doing virtual? Is it hybrid?
I'm doing here in town. I'm actually meeting guys on site. Like I've got a buddy that's got an apartment complex he's wanting to do some work with, and he doesn't have a ton of roofing experience. So this is where I come in and just say, hey, look, here's how you should do this. Here's what we need to do. Let's make it work this way. And it's nice. I've got a couple, pretty large scale projects that I get to just kind of give advice on and then get a little bit of money on the side. And I like it, man. There's no liability on my side. And that's a great thing. Yeah, I didn't realize how stressful having a roofing company was until I'd been in that situation. And it was like, you see things completely different at that point. You understand liability more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's been my biggest thing. I've been in a good mood now for a complete full month straight. And it's like, dude, my blood pressure went down. My heart rate went down. Everything is like healthy again. And I thought, man, what was the X factor in that equation that was causing me all that stress? We did a minus X and here I am. So feeling good.
Addition by subtraction. Quality life improved as a result of taking one variable out of the equation. It's funny how that works.
It's amazing, right? And, all kinds of cool stuff's going on. My podcast is killing it right now. I'm up to 116 episodes. Just absolutely getting some amazing guests. I had Alan Mick on yesterday, the most influential man in the industry other than you. And that stuff's cool. Just trying to have fun.
As per the roofing and sales community, there was just somebody posted who are the most influential people, and I think there were 99 comments when I had saw it, and I got mentioned only once. So my influence is minimal, but in my mind,
I didn't get mentioned at all. So hey, you're way more influential than my ass. That's cool, right? You're 100% more influential than me.
Who's the most under the influence? Influential? No.
Yeah, two different categories, but both apply to this industry.
Did you get a chance to watch the Izzy Adesanya fight last weekend?
I did get to watch the fight. I was what was I doing? I was doing something on Saturday, and I just didn't get a chance to catch live. Let me get your thoughts on this, okay? Because number one, I'm always cool with a redemption story or whatever, but do you feel like maybe this guy's going a little overboard? There were stories where he was taunting the 5-year-old son outside the cage, doing all that stuff. Just kicked your dad's ass and then like pointing at the kid and talking about there's not going to be any rematch. But to me, it's like, bro, you guys have fought 4 times. You're 1-3. You don't have the right to say I'm not fighting him again because it looks weak, right? It's like you finally got that one.
Right.
If you're so badass, go do it again, man. Let's have the trilogy in MMA, see who the better guy is. But for a brief moment, I was a fan of Adesanya, and then he flipped the switch right back, and I was like, man, this guy just pisses me off. He's just arrogant.
Yeah, I didn't see that part, and that's shitty, and that would make me far less of a fan.
It's just, come on, bro. I mean, a 5-year-old, at least wait till they're 10, man. I mean, 10-year-olds can fight back. 5 doesn't even know what's going on yet. Come on.
So that definitely happened, huh?
That's everybody's saying that's what happened. And, I didn't see it, but
that's
whatever, man.
That would be...
After I kick your dad's ass, I'm going to make fun of the kid too. So I can't say anything, I'd probably be the same. I'd be like, what's up? Who's your real daddy? But, I just, I like that. And I thought the that was a good fight card. The fight card they had here in San Antonio the week before was amazing as well.
Yeah.
And the fights have they've been good lately. What do you think about Jones as heavyweight champ?
Dude, that was crazy.
That was an ass whooping. I almost feel like it was customized and put on a silver platter for him. And hopefully Stipe gives him a little bit more because Stipe is from Ohio and I'm a Buckeye.
Stipe,
I'm not gonna lie. See, John Jones is another dude where I've never liked John Jones because of the stuff he does. Like if you're that good and you're the GOAT and there's no disputing it, you shouldn't be that erratic. And I guess that's just the mentality you have to be the greatest. You've got to really believe like I'm above everybody else and I can break the law and I can do whatever I want. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's kind of worked out for him. I mean, he's
or
still there and he's making money.
Just, you suck at coping, or you make poor choices because of addiction. I mean, there's a lot of variables that kind of go into that. He's made some questionable decisions, I think, if you look at it objectively. But I mean, I looked at him walking in the cage, and I think I thought what everyone else thought is like, how much have you been training? And then
it takes a lot of work to bulk up from 205 to like, what was he, about 250 or something like that? I mean, that doesn't require a lot of heavy lifting unless it's like,
yeah,
that's water. That's a terrible example, but you know what I mean? That's actually probably healthy.
What I'll say about that Adesanya fight though, I mean, that was very well played by him as far as like throwing he's in the corner kind of eating shit, and it looks like he kind of like rolled and threw that right hand, and just,
it's a thing of beauty, and when you can actually look at it from a technical standpoint, that's what I love about watching fights. But I can't watch fights with too many people. Like I got to watch UFC fights by myself pretty much, because I've been a fan of the sport since day one. UFC 1. And Mark Coleman, the first ever heavyweight champion, lived in my community. Mark the Hammer Coleman is in Hilliard, Ohio. He still lives there. He's a Buckeye great. And, I was a fan because of that. It was like, dude, this guy from Hilliard is like the UFC champ. And I've literally watched since UFC 1. Mm-hmm. And as you watch, you start to say, okay, I understand what's going on here. I understand positioning. I understand, how they're going to roll into a submission and whatnot. And I've always been a fan of boxing, and I love kickboxing too. I just love watching, the back and forth, the feints, the strategy that most people don't really recognize as casual fans. And that's why I get pissed when I watch fights with casual fans, because it's like, if you don't understand how a scorecard works, shut the hell up. Don't talk about the fight. Don't talk about, people are always saying stupid things when I'm watching fights. Like, it's a 3-round fight, and just because someone won 3 rounds doesn't mean it's a unanimous decision. That's not how that works. That's not the terminology, but you can't explain that, and you can't explain how 10-9 works or 10-8. And it's like, I just want to watch the fight and understand it, but I'm like that. I go to a football game. I'm the same way. There's like 3 people in the world I can watch football with that don't piss me off. Baseball. I go to a baseball game, dude. We had a company I worked for used to take us to the Houston Astros games every year. We'd get a bus and we'd ride down and have a great day. But I'm the dude who's got like the scorecard, and I'm over there like doing the little, ball 1, strike 1. And I'm keeping score of the entire game while everybody else is having fun. I'm a weird sports fan, but I love it. What about the XFL? You like the XFL?
Never watched it.
It's freaking amazing, dude.
Really?
I'm just saying. Yeah. People are going to think I'm crazy. I think the XFL is better to watch than the NFL.
Why?
And I'm not saying that it's equal to the NFL in talent by any means. People jump on and say, it's high school guys. It's not really high school guys. I think these guys were all pretty good players. A lot of them were in the NFL for a little time. But some of the rules are cool. We've got a team here in San Antonio, and went down to the first game. The San Antonio team's winning by 15 with like 2 minutes to go and freaking lost. And it's like, how do you lose like that? Well, because the team that we're playing gets, they get a touchdown, and then there's no kicking. So you can do like a 1, 2, or 3 point conversion from like the 1, 5, and 10, and you got to run plays, right? So these guys get the touchdown, they get 6, then they go for 3, which freaks me out. And I'm like, what the hell's this? Like, boom, they get the 3, and it's like, okay, well, there's no time, so they can't do anything. Well, then they got another rule. Onside kicks, there's 2 options, right? You can do an onside kick, like old school, or you get 1 play, 4th and 15, and if you can convert it, you get to keep the ball. I didn't know that, right? So I'm telling my buddy, like, dude, this game's over. Let's get the hell out of here. It's done. We're going to win. And sure as shit, these guys scored like 18 points in a minute and a half. And I was just standing there like, what? Like, I don't get it. But last week they had 4 games, and the average margin of victory was 2.5 points for the entire weekend. It's very competitive and fun to watch. And I just throw that out there because, sports fans, dude.
Yeah,
What
maybe
we
I'll
do.
check it out because, I don't know. You could say the same, like, there could be the same assumption made about, like, I think it's PFL, the fight, the MMA style shit, right? And I've been watching that the last couple weeks because it's on my Samsung. When I turn it on, it'll like PFL. And it's like, sure, I'll watch some
It's
people
fighting,
fucking
man.
beat each other up.
It's fighting. I
And
love
the
to
fight-
watch
the fights have
fights,
been
and
pretty
I love to
good.
watch football.
Yeah.
And they're fighting for $1 million. I mean, those guys are getting paid as much as UFC fighters at that point. And why not? I mean, I'm all for it. If it can get people the opportunity to continue on with the dream, why not, dude? That's what life's
When are the
about.
XFL games?
Saturday and Sundays. I think there's 2 more weeks left in the season, this coming and then the following, and then they do playoffs or whatever. And there's another spring football league starting this weekend too. So
Nice.
if like one wasn't enough, we need 2. You think if they could put the 2 together and maybe make it one nice size league and put all that talent in the same pool, maybe there could be something special. We'll see. That's what I would do.
Time will tell.
Yep.
Chuck, you're amazing, man.
I try.
Yeah, no, I'm super appreciative for you coming on. I am extremely happy for you to hear of your new path and the level of excitement that I see just radiating from you as you talk about it. I know you'll do nothing short of being great.
It's going to be awesome.
Dude, anything that you ever need from me, be sure to hit me up.
Always, my friend. And I'm going to see what I can do to get Elizabeth to join your podcast. I think she'd be happy to do it. So
Tell her pull up.
we'll make it rain. Two of the
Thank
best
you.
in the industry, and I'd be happy just to be the one that facilitated that. I'd brag about that for the next 20 years.
Oh, man. Thanks again, man. Thank you to all the listeners. And that being said, here you go.
Have a great day, everybody.